Yeah, if you've got stuff against not stuff, then your stuff is usually going to win. And the game countdown has commenced. The loading screen is up. The map is Scorched Haven?
Haven. It's a Haven, man.
Scorched Haven. We are loaded up. Go ahead and introduce our players here out of BC.
Alrighty, Team Techno Vikings spawning on the western side of the map. We've got AI Pro Clan spawning as the purple Terran. His ally here, GLRiChY, is spawning as the green Protoss. And then, of course, their opponents representing Team Liquid, styling themselves as the Zerg Brofesters. It's going to be Liquid Ret, as well as his ally here, Liquid Sheth. Ret, of course, being the blue player, and Sheth, of course, being the red player.
Uh-oh. Is this a probe? This is a probe. This is way early, but once again, just a scout. They fool me with it every time.
Yeah,
Such an early probe scout. These guys should know that Rhett and Sheth will not go double six full. You don't need to send out that probe so early. Come on now, Richie. Come on, maybe he just wants to block the expansions, but we'll see here. But, you know, sending out that probe so early, that's a lot of money wasted. That's a lot of money, especially when you only have, what, like 8 probes by the time you send it out. So, very ballsy move right there, and uh-oh.
It looks like, once again, our Glorious Administrator going to lag out again, but that's unfortunate. But what are you going to do? Either way, it's going to be interesting to see this wall-off on the low ground and how Sheth and Rhett want to respond to it. And there we go, our admin will just go ahead and leave the game. He's like, well, I'm lagging, I'll get out of here. I assume we'll just follow along as we did in the last game.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, and it looks like, oh, we're going to see a Forge first from GLRiChY, and I expect this to be followed up by a fast Nexus, maybe even a fast Command Center. And, you know, with 2 Zergs on the other team, there's not a whole lot they can do against it. They can try a Baneling Bust, or looks like Sheth is just going to throw down his own hatchery. And there was a gas first from Red, followed by a spawning pool, so they're definitely playing a little bit safer than double 15 hatch, that's for sure. But if Pro Clan and Richie do decide to double expand behind this wall off, they could secure a nice little macro advantage.
Yeah, and this is a map where it's pretty easy to get a third base. Well, it's not super easy. Ooh, what am I missing here? Oh, it's a cannon block off. I wonder if, I imagine Sheth knows how to do that little trick, but he's actually not going to see this.
He actually blocked off the wrong person. Those lings are going to go down there and just take them out.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. There's already a cannon going down, and he's going to be able to throw down a second one very soon. But we've got 6 lings in production. Unfortunately, there's no Overlord sitting between the 2 bases, and so this could be a little bit tricky. And now Sheth, actually, he's going to see what's up right now, and Rhett also. So they're going to want to do something about this pretty quick. There's yet another cannon going down, and he's just going to go ahead and cancel, and he's just going to take a different base here. And the cannon's already done, so the ling's not really going to be able to do a whole lot about this.
And it's gonna take Rhett a long time to bust out of this contain. So, I mean, if the Protoss player has time, if he wants, he can throw up a gateway and they can just try to go after Rhett 2-on-1. Looks like Rhett was actually trying to produce something, maybe a Baneling Nest, maybe a Roachborn. I couldn't really tell. But as long since
I think it was a Roachborn. Yeah,
Roachborn has been canceled, and Liquid Red actually getting some links, sneaking some links into the Protoss base. No defenses whatsoever by either player, and he's going to run in and get a couple probe kills.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to deny a ton of mining. He's going to be able to hopefully micro this pretty well. There is one Marine joining up here. We'll see how he wants to deal with this. Just going to go ahead and immediately kill that Marine. It's probably not too happy about it. Ooh, he actually escapes with 5 hit points. Very nice there. But nonetheless doing a lot of damage and denying the mining time here, but I'm really wondering how they're going to deal with this. It looks like it's just going to be only Sheth going for some roaches, and what exactly is Rhett going to do? Meanwhile, these lings actually wreaking havoc. Ling speed is finished, so these lings are just so microable, and wow, the Marine going to get taken out here pretty quick, and it looks like that might be about it. Meanwhile, there is a bunker up, as well as a full wall in, so I don't think any more lings will be able to get in here.
And meanwhile, Pro Clan with the double starboards. We've got a tech lab. Looks like it is going to be swapped on. Are we going to see a gas feed from the Protoss? Yes, we are. He has mined from his geysers, and he has 0 gas, meaning he has sent everything he had to the Terran player for some Vikings, and these Vikings are going to have to do a whole lot because he lost a lot of probes just to 6 Lings. That speed kicked in just in time. And oh no, Liquid Red throwing down that hatchery, immediately getting gunned down by that cannon, and he's trying it again, actually.
I guess, yeah, there go the Lings, so he's going to be able to clean this up. And will they go for, I guess with that many Lings out, he's got 32 Lings on 13 drones, he needs to go for a counterattack. I guess they're just going for a Baneling bust here. The Baneling nest is up, and, you know, they've seen the factory, so they know that the Terran player is teching, but do they know exactly what tech it is? We do have a second Queen coming out from one of these guys, actually, Sheth making that as his expansion. So this is going to be tight. There are the Banelings getting made. They are out of view. But a Banshee comes out, so he's going to show his hand, and this might, this might cause a hiccup, and that's just going to make the Lings go for it. There's only 3 Marines, but a lot of cannons getting made here, and this is the thing. You can feed those minerals, get a lot of cannons. The Roach is coming up here now. The Baneling's going to be doing pretty nice. A couple of SMBs trying to repair, but they cannot do that. Now, you can repair cannons. Actually, no, you can't repair cannons, can you? They're not mechanical. And the Ling's just getting right into that Protoss main base. He is without a doubt going to be crippled. And those probes immediately trying to run here. We've got Evo Chambers coming up as well for our Zerg players.
Yep, good response with the Evo Chambers. Those Banshees, they do not have Cloak, however, you're still going to want some spores in those mineral lines. And I'm a bit surprised they don't have Cloak because you can, because the Protoss player has been feeding the Terran a lot of gas, but Banshee's necessary even without the Cloak. Zerg have such a hard time dealing with air units at this point in the game, and one Roach being misrouted and being taken out pretty fast. If we check out the harvester count, we've got Rhett and Sheth sitting at 25 and 30, both of them on 2 bases, while their opponents are at 24 and 14. The Protoss player struggling to recover, and each of them at just 1 base, and worst of all, their hand has been revealed.
2 Banelings in the Protoss base here, and it looks like, ooh, oh man, they're pumping up. And that's going to knock him down to 9 probes. That is, and I mean, the thing is, not only is he on 9 probes, he is on no tech. He's got a Forge, and that's it. But either way, 2 Banshees coming into each of the Zerg players' main bases. But I don't really think these Banshees are going to be doing a whole lot. He is picking off a couple of drones here. Rhett doing what he can, but the Queens are going to be shooing these away pretty easily.
You know, this is cute. Liquid Sheth, he's actually dropping Spore Crawlers in Rhett's base. Even though Rhett has his own evolution chamber, I feel like he's just being cute at this point. They might know that they have a pretty significant lead after all those probes are going down, so this is pretty cool seeing the Zerg teammates getting to take advantage of their race having creep to build on, so you couldn't do that with a Protoss or Terran partner, that's for sure.
No, that's certainly not the case. And, I mean, what are GLRiChY and his ally here going to follow up with? Looks like a command center as well as the Nexus getting thrown down. So they're just saying, we're going to go for some kind of macro game. But I'm really thinking just any kind of mass Mutalisk play is going to be trouble. And actually, Cloak is on the way. And I feel like I want to call that stupid. I can't help it. Why are you getting Cloak right now?
Well, I was just going to say it's a little bit too late, but stupid's a good word for it, too. I mean, you can't blame them too much. They're trying to find something to bring them back into this game. They're so far behind at this point. Is Cloak the right way to go to do that? No, but
no.
Give them a little credit. They're trying. They've got a couple of expansions on the way. The Orbital Command being produced here, but the Protoss player, man, that cannon, you know, they didn't really follow up that cannon real well. I mean, I feel like a cannon, maybe proxy racks would have been cool, but it ended up kind of being a waste of money, really.
Yeah, and then of course the Ling counterattacks set him back so far. Like, he still doesn't have a Cybernetic score. We're at 11 minutes, and he's got that second Nexus, but just now he's building that Cybernetic score, so just very rough. And now we do have that Spire coming up from Sheth, so we see a big surge of Mutalisks, whereas Rhett is once again going for Hydralisks.
It's kind of interesting. I mean, they can't really attack without Hydralisks. The Banshees aren't going to do a whole lot, but eventually they'll wear down on your army, so you really have to get Hydras. Those Mutos aren't going to be up for a long time. And, well, you know, it's actually kind of interesting. The Mutos would do a great job of killing those Banshees once they do get up, and Hydras generally aren't that good, so maybe they just didn't want to be redundant, and they just wanted to switch it up a little bit.
And now an Infestation Pit also coming out for Rhett, so just, you know, they're just kind of making big armies. They're like, well, let's get a lot of stuff. They've got 59 and 56 drones, against 34 and 29 probes. And I will also point out that 29 probes is all that Protoss player has. Like, is everything.
Yeah, the unit tab is quite short with this one. Just some probes just kind of hanging out there. It's just got one.
He's got
gateway.
a sentry, man. He's got a sentry in production here.
Uh-oh. When that sentry comes out, it's going to be 32 probes and one sentry.
And that's a lot better than 32 probes.
Yeah, it's one sentry better, about. But Sheth and Rhett just kind of toying with them. It's if you check out the army supply, 97 111 to 77 39.
A scan going down on Sheth actually is a bit of a money scan. Even sees the Mutalisk popping out. The Terran player already has turrets up. However, our Protoss buddy here, it looks like his Terran friend is actually going to go ahead and build him some turrets. That's quite nice of him. But once again, these guys are just kind of trapped on two bases. They've done a good job with the Banshees, really denying any additional hatcheries from coming up in. Maybe that is the value of Cloak. It's certainly being quite annoying. We definitely need some Overseers here. As you see on the bottom right of the map, there's an Overseer coming in as this Cloak Banshee. Just being a little bit annoying, but once again, hatcheries going up all over the place on the map. And, yeah.
Yeah, not looking too good for our Terran Protoss team. And cool little fact, Overseers, I believe, are the exact same speed as Banshees. When they have their speed upgrade, they might even be...
Yeah. They're faster, I think.
0.2 faster, yeah. I think they're at 2.95 compared to Banshee's 2.75. So you can just, if you see some Banshees around, if you got an Overlord with speed, just move command onto that Banshee. It will follow it around everywhere, even into a pack of Marines, and then your Overlord dies, and then you hit yourself for being lazy and just move commanding. But this Banshee's being quite annoying. Oh, one shot left on it. The Hydra's not quite able to pick it off. And I'm just waiting for Rhett and Sheth to do something that would end the game, really.
I mean, it's pretty hard to end the game for them right now. I mean, that main choke point is just, 4 cannons and a whole bunch of tanks, and then, of course, there's turrets everywhere, so this Mutalisk harassment, the Mutas pop in and say, okay, I guess we can't really do anything, but look at Rhett. He's just going to go ahead and take the map. These guys, I think their goal is just to lag your computer out a little bit.
I think so.
Yeah, there's the Ultralisk Cavern Neural Parasite. We got Sheth going for his own Infestation Pit. I'm sure he's going to want to get some high tech. Actually, 2 command centers coming up here for AI Pro Clan, but I mean, he's going to be able to mine out his natural a little bit faster, but I don't really see any additional bases in the future for him. Not that I'm, Miss Cleo or anything.
Well, I suppose he could lift those command centers and float them to the center because that's the only available base right now, but those creep tumors from Rhett getting awfully close to denying that, and, lifting him there is one thing, actually getting to keep them is another thing, but here we go, Richie being a bit aggressive, backing off against those Hydras, waiting for the reinforcements from the Terran. That's a lot of Thors, but those Hydras...
I mean, units just kind of getting thrown away right now, but the problem is, if you pull up that old supply tab right now, our Liquid team is sitting at 165 and 131 against 124 and 80, so, I mean, they're kind of dwarfing them, but once again, this army from our Terran player is very supply efficient. He's got Raven in here, he's got Banshees, he's got Siege Tanks, he's got Thors, but either way, 6 Corruptors in production as well as 4 Ultralisks. Very scary. And of course, just the bases. I mean, the mini-map is just kind of getting coated with creep right now.
Yeah, Rhett and Sheth spending all their excess APM on just covering the map in creep. It looks like Rhett did lose that overzealous base in the top left. Kind of expected that to happen. It's a ridiculous location for a base, but they still have almost every single other map. Those Stalkers spending their blink to blink into a bunch of Zerglings, and they succeeded in committing suicide. And those Ultras and Broodlords spell disaster for an already crippled GLRiChY and Pro Clan here.
And here comes the push. A lot of DTs moving out across the map too. There is a Spore and a Spine at Rook's northern expansion, and no detection actually at Sheth's southern expansion here, so this